Aha, good morning. So officially on our countdown, Monday morning marks 1 week until splash. I'm fairly confident that in 1 week we would be ready to splash. Like, I've only got a couple of jobs left to do. The P bracket still not arrived, but Dan is absolutely confident it's going to arrive middle of this week. So we'll get that fitted towards the end of the week, and then I've got to put the cleats on, and I've got to stop the piano and the sofa falling over. Those are the only things I've got to do to get the boat ready to splash. In 3 weeks' time, we have got to live on this boat. We're going to have a bit of Easter holidays, you know, kids and grandparents, that sort of stuff. So we've got a little bit of extra time, but we have got to live on this boat. And the big job last week that didn't get done, that I just didn't get to, was getting this work surface in. But I've got a tiny bit of templating to do with the safety handrail around the gimbal stove. And then apart from that, I am actually ready to cut the work surface. The work surface down below. The new sink has arrived. I've just got to spend the morning now. I've got about 4 hours. My hope is to get the work surface cut and looking pretty pucker, you know, including like all the nice trim, rounded, pencil round stuff on the edge. In 8 hours time, the space is going to look a little bit different. And it's got to, because then I've got to get the plumbing sorted for the kitchen, which is probably a couple of days, and then I'm going to get the kids' bedrooms back together, so that they've got somewhere to sleep. With this gimbal cooker, I've always wanted to have a handrail in front of it. It's a fairly standard thing to have in front of a cooker on a boat. Gives you a slight barrier. It also gives you something to clip onto if you're in a slightly choppy sea. I'm notoriously bad at making decisions. Big decisions are fine, like marrying Kel. I like decide, yeah, that's fine, we'll do that. But little decisions, like what position to put this? I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks. I'm not lying. So gotta crack this one. But basically, I've got a thing recently to try and help myself go through these processes. Let's whittle it down to 3 prime choices. 3 is a great number, right? 3 obvious choices, and then work out the merits, pros, cons of each one, and then make your decision. So ultimately, I've got 3 choices. 1 is to go screw the thing into the top of the work surface above the cooker, which is my least favourite choice and won't be doing because it's just in the way, it looks awful. And then we're into a bit more complicated stuff. So this can be altered. I can take this off, I can chop it up, put a new bracket on the end and have that come in effectively so it butts onto that whole surface there. So that's, at the moment, like that being effectively like that, and that going onto there is the sort of thing I'm looking at. Or the other option is to extend sections of the work surface out a little bit, enough so that this can clip on underneath. Again, I am imagining chopping this down and getting fabrication boys to tidy it up for me to make it the exact right size what we need. Once I've solved this problem, I am finished on the work surface and relax. I can put Spotify on, I can listen to a bit of some show tunes maybe, and just do what I enjoy, which is a few hours measuring, cutting, fitting, that sort of stuff. Right, I've been measuring the hole. It's in there. Been reenacting it with a thing on top of the work surface there to not forget about tool pots and pans. And I've decided that handrail's not the way to go. I'm just going to get the boys to make up a much simpler handrail. It actually looks just exactly like a tail rail we had on galley, but it's even simpler again. So just some brackets, 2 brackets and a pole in between them, and that's going to slide in nicely just down the gap either side of the gimbal frame, and that'll do, and it can go in any point, and it means I don't have to try and make the work surface incorporate it, which it'll be stronger here as well. It'll be stronger, better solution, and I quite like it. When it comes to measuring the difference between 7mm and 8mm, I'm getting to the point in my life where I need glasses. Boo.
Oh man, it does make so much difference. Like, I can see so clearly now. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone.
Right, I'm gonna go downstairs now, copy the template across to the actual work surface. Got myself a new circular saw blade for my saw. I put a new jigsaw blade in, all that. Anyway, I'm gonna crack on, get that cut. It's been quite a long day of remembering how to do things I already knew how to do. Just loads of little stupid mistakes. But we've got there, the work surface is starting to look nice. So I'm just gonna cut out the hole for the sink and run the flush bit round it. What a faff, but I'm getting there. It's supposed to be half a day this, but well, I was supposed to finish 2 hours ago, and I reckon I've got at least another hour. So I'm gonna now run round pencil router a bit, pop it upstairs. Anyway, it's getting there, looks alright, I've just put the sink in, it's working okay, so. I do cool things like this nowadays. Wrote on this bit of timber that this is the original flat edge. It means that if I see this timber in a pile of timber, I go, oh, that'd be good for a bit of trim or something. I know which is the flat edge that originally was machined. I mean, this edge is not bad that I've cut. I've done a pretty good job. Anyway, it's the sort of thing I do nowadays, because I'm your new Hugh. I love this tool. This is definitely like a good buy. It makes wood look great. Right, I'm just going to run a small, like just a tiny nick off the bottom side, just to not much anything, so it doesn't just catch on anything. Good, we're all agreed. If nothing else, by running all those tiny little edges around everything, it means when I carry this thing upstairs in a moment, I'm that much less likely to catch something and therefore break it and split the wood. So I just did it. Anyway, I'm excited to go and put this up, because I'm certain it will fit first time. Oh, it's been a long day, but that looks great. Oh, win. The reason that took such a long time is because I spent ages measuring it all out, getting it perfect, and then like a numpty, for some reason I tried to cut circles with my jigsaw on a bit of timber, 40mm thick. I don't know what I was thinking. I know all this stuff, but anyway, doesn't matter. I had to re-measure it to get the work. There was enough tolerance in the timber because I was always going to cut off, strip off the back. I was able to redo it, and I had to make these jigs. So I've made up a couple of jigs, gave me perfect curves, then those with a straight line jig as well, which ended up screwing to the bottom each time, running the flash bit router down it. Hopefully we've got to a place where we've got a really tidy finished article. This is positive. Just come around the corner, and our mast is looking a bit different. So I think the yard I've been working on this morning, which means it's almost certainly going on today. I've just given it a tiny bit better clean. It's never going to be spotless, but got a few more bits of green off it that you can now get to, that you couldn't get to before. These are the boys in the yard. Very handy bunch. Hello. There we go. Hello. Bro, they're going to stick the mast on now.
First, the crane needs to check that it can reach our boat. This is called ranging. The mast gets walked around to meet the crane. And then it's up, up, up and away. I thought I'd make some polite conversation, so I happened to ask Steve, how many masts do you think you've taken off and put back onto a boat? He says, well, I've lost count now, but we've only ever dropped 2. Not really what you want to hear when your mast is looking so precarious up there, but I'm assured that was the old crane.
They're just doing the very final bit of the job now. Unfortunately, I did ask, but I wasn't allowed to do it. It's something about insurance. There he goes. There's Steve, and he's got some things to put on top of the mast, the aerial and the navigation light and the wind vane and the electronic wind vane thing. All the stuff that I was looking for last week.
Thanks, Steve. And there it is. She looks like a boat again.
just having a little play with these cleats, so they're all back finished. The welding completely finished, and the guys have polished, not all of it, but the bits that you're going to see. If that makes sense. That's all nicely polished, and I've got these nice dome bolts on here, which is cool. So yeah, ready to go. So I'm going to go and put these in position, fit them now. It means drilling the final holes through the fiberglass, and then putting these in with a bit of a marine flex.
I'm pretty happy with that. I think it looks quite neat in the end. I need to put a bit of silicone on it tomorrow.
Given the amount of faff and the extra expense, but those cleats are going to go nowhere because that GRP is thick. On the other side, the GRP goes all the way through. Here, it's like at least 12, 13 mil thick on both sides. More than that, I think. Another cool thing about this material is you can just rub it clean. Got a rubber.
Some marks left from my hammer when I was prattling around. There you go, a quick bit of sanding. Comes up right new.
I sent Kelly a message a minute ago telling her I was just leaving. But I got a little bit sidetracked playing with some lines, some halyards, topping lifts. Just enjoying myself working out where things go. It's going to be great when we're all completely familiar with this boat and know exactly what everything does and what it's for. And well, I should know most of that, to be honest, but it's just nice. It's good fun. It's nice to make it like a real boat again and actually get back into sailing and stuff. So it's Friday already, which is a bit frustrating, but I've spent most of the last 3 days in bed. Doing very well. There you go. What a good example. Anyway, come back in this afternoon. This morning we moved out of the holiday house.
Goodbye to the holiday house, probably forever. Bye-bye to the holiday house, probably forever.
The kids have gone up with Kelly and they're going to stay at grandparents for a couple of weeks. And Kelly's hopefully going to come down a bit as well and spend a fair bit of time during that couple of weeks doing work as well. Well, Monday was not when I felt not very well. I managed to spend a whole day doing a half-day job and got that work surface cut. And Tuesday I felt pretty rotten, but that's when the mast went up, so I came in for a bit and Kelly came for a bit. So that's cool, that's on. Having said that, they still haven't finished tightening up the rigging, and it was blowing a lot a minute ago, and one of the rigging wires came loose and was just swinging around, so I'm not that impressed about that. And I asked earlier to make sure, you know, when you're coming back to tighten up the other bits of rigging. But came down this afternoon. Ben was here, which is cool. He's been ill as well. He's just showing me the touchscreen working for the Victron, which is looking cool, which is really exciting. And we've had a good chat about a few things and about what we're going to do with the old batteries and where we're going to put things. So I just need to get running water going through that tap in the galley. Need to get the oven turned on, and we need to get mattresses on the kids' beds, and that's all doable. So yeah, watch this space.